All right. So last time we played, a multitude of very complex and alarming things happened. First off, Hendrik, through successful infiltration about breaking into and meeting up with an agent of the Umbral cult, seeming to be uh, loose ends being tied off. He was greeted by a man who we now know the name of Limes. And another agent was also to be dispatched, but after your first ever sightings really of necromancy in force in action being used against you to try and kill you, Hendrik, and you using a lot of spells and using powerful spells, basically bringing this secluded barnyard at the edge of Rakmir down. Um, the other agent was revealed to be a double who is working against the Umbral cult, and he said he is a loyal servant and devout follower of Vela, the absolute goddess of death and rest within the Concord. You briefly then followed her back to her hidden quarters underneath a fountain which you discovered earlier in your travels, which led to kind of a secret covert lair. You discussed with her what your theories were, and it seemed to kind of all be related. This cult, this man, this guy Limes, it seemed to all follow around to this man, the six-fingered man, this agent who seemingly manipulated Slate into stealing the urns, and was also in charge of whatever call happened earlier a few hours from where you guys find yourselves. And then after all these kind of deliberations and discoveries, upon returning back to the Pedrosa's tap house to get a full night's rest and recover from your wounds and injuries and get your spells back, you find Slade, raving and tears in his eyes that his wife and daughter had been taken from him by the six-fingered man. That seems to be what he said and referenced, although he's not really saying it, shouting in the street. He knows that's private information, really, or dark information. So, in the middle of the street, it is slightly cooler. There are candle lights on, torch lights on in the street. It is an empty street outside the front of the Bed of Roses tap house. Slate is a man who has been worked up to adrenaline and came down, and worked up adrenaline came down, so he looks exhausted, looks riled. Um, Bloodshot eyes, and you have agreed to accompany him or him to show you back to his house to see if you can find any lead on where his daughter and wife have been taken. Any questions?
No, I think
Nope.
not for me.
Okay, no problem. So yeah, you follow Slate as he kind of marches off quickly back through Old Town, way up into kind of the residential district of Rackmere, going. You just follow him. He's just a man without purpose. He doesn't have much to say. He kind of mutters a few things to himself, and annoyed, and kind of like, I said, you should have stayed there with them. You shouldn't have gone out and kind of all these kind of blaming yourself for what's happened. Um, are any of you guys doing anything while he leads you to the house?
Leonard will be talking to him like pretty much throughout, like trying to keep his attention on him, like just doing his best to just make small talk as it and keep his spirits as high as he can. Obviously, there's only going to be so much he can do, but he's at the very least going to if he sees him doing a downward spiral, he's sort of going to just like have him or speak to him and just bring him back up.
Yeah, yeah. Make a persuasion check for me, please.
Okay. No.
18. Okay, yeah. So your words of encouragement, the things that you say to him, do keep him more or less focused on where we go from here rather than trying to retrace steps of blame. And so as you head to the end of the street, this dilapidated, uncared for house, which has had a lot of love put into it to try and make it homely, now rests with a wagon outside the front. You can see the wagon is laid with the supplies and with the personal belongings of the family. It's boxes and crates and food preservatives and clothes kind of resting on it in bundles, and a tarp which has been like kind of half closed over the top of it. And he kind of just stares at the front door, almost kind of looks in his eyes of I just wish that this didn't happen. It was just kind of shock, and he kind of, you can take a look, see if you can find anything.
I'm not going to turn to Hendrik.
Hendrik is
Oh.
busy this entire time, like looking over his shoulder and looking at rooftops as they're passing by, and
Make a
just doing the
perception.
general paranoid shit.
Yeah.
Perception, normal perception. 10. Ah.
10. It's pretty dark out, even with your elven blessed eyes of dark vision. There are still little spots of shadow, and you do keep your eyes on those. You do check, in the kind of 25-minute walk to the house, you do not feel that you've been tailed or being watched.
Okay.
I believe perhaps investigation is more your expertise than it is mine. Would you rather go in alone and have a look, or should we all look around?
I mean, there's nothing stopping the rest of us from possibly stumbling across something while Hendrik is doing a more thorough and focused look.
Possibly, but it could also it could be too many people in a small area. Makes it harder. So Lernock is leaving this somewhat up to Hendrik's expertise. This is more his thing.
Okay. Hendrik will get to it then. I will investigate the house and the area. I'll take my
Okay.
time.
All right.
Uh,
As you step forward through the threshold of the door, there is a dramatic temperature change. It feels like walking in from a kind of mid-warm spring evening into a dead of winter cold stone house. Your fingertips go numb for a moment. It's as cold as stone, like a crypt. You see packaged items on the kind of the dinner table. You see water jugs, ration bags, toys, effects of the girl, Kamala, and yeah, you see all of this. It's a medium, like, well, sorry, it's a very small house. You probably imagine that there's the kind of central area, kitchen, living room, with a stove, and then there's like one bathroom, and then like kind of one kind of family sleeping area. It's a pretty small home.
so as soon as I step in, it gets cold, like supernaturally cold or magically cold.
Supernaturally cold, definitely.
Right. And I will take a step backwards out of the house,
Mhm.
and I will look over at Thoric and Thoric.
Yes.
Would you be a ice dragonborn? I can't really tell.
Yes.
Okay, can you help me out? Can you lead the way?
Is there ice in the way or something?
Well,
Make a perception check for him, please, Thoric.
I'm looking for ice.
you've never
Ice,
seen it before,
ice.
but you've heard of it in legend.
19. Thoric, you see that as kind of you step forward the door and you look across the room, some of the preservative jars and edges of the windows, they have that kind of like smokiness of cold condensation meeting with hot air
Interesting.
in the actual room itself.
Sure, I'll step in.
You feel the same effect. No, you do have the effect of cold resistance because of your lineage, your draconic ancestry. It is still noticeable. You're not going to, no one will take damage from this. Not you wouldn't either, Hendrik, but it is just uncomfortable. And it doesn't feel like cold of a wind, or it's like the chill you feel after a horrible night of nightmares.
Sure. Okay. Yeah. I'll once Thor goes in and is in there for a good 5 seconds or so, and he hasn't been attacked by anything. I'll walk in behind him.
Yeah.
And I'll
Going behind.
start the investigation.
So what are you looking for?
I am looking for forced entry. I'm looking for magical evidence of like damages, like someone throws a ice bolts into a wall, it's gonna still be there.
Yeah, you're looking for signs of a scuffle, basically.
Yeah, exactly. And would they go through the front door? They'd probably go through the
There
back
is a
door.
back door that,
Yeah, they'd
if you
probably go through the
remember, that
back door.
Thoric
I'll
saw the child in.
I'll check the back door to see if there's been a lot of traffic there recently.
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead. Make an investigation check.
Investigation. My elven eyes see
26.
a lot.
It's very good. That's a 19. Wow.
Could've been
So
a
I'll break it
20.
down for you. So the obvious thing, there is no sign of a conflict. There are no, even like tables ajar or things pushed that have like scraped against the floorboards in here. You notice that the fire that was lit in the stove is still crackling, and the log was probably placed in there a few hours ago. You see that the whatever bags effects that were at the front door, there's probably a good few things there that are ready to go on the cart. And you see a satchel which look ready like that Slate would have put on, and missing is two other satchels. Probably that of the wife and child, Philippa and Camilla. You look to the back door, and as you go out, there's a log splitting station where there's like a big round stump and some like logs being split with an axe. You see the effects of like some outdoor toys, like wooden made toys of like a horse, like a rocking horse, very, very cheaply made, kind of held together with nails and like bound with cheap glue. You see like it's muddy out here as well because obviously you guys have rain the past few days. All you really see is the footsteps of like some sandals, or sorry, and child's footsteps of like bare feet, and some child sandals as well, child shoes, but no other footsteps in here. With the 26 though, you look over and you see that behind the kind of saucers that would be on like a stove, there is disturbed brick, which does not align with the rest of the wall. It's very subtle, like half an inch, no, like sorry, like half a centimeter of disturbance of like out of place, and it has a slightly different color of grey to it than the other stone.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah,
Okay,
I can hear you now.
sorry. Okay, yeah. Well, I will. That's kind of odd. There's no way in hell it's a secret passage. It's a fucking hovel. I will. Yeah, I'll just pull the brick out and see if there's something behind it, maybe.
You pull out the brick and it's lighter than what you imagine. It's a hollowed out brick, and as you pull it out, it kind of cracks against the other stone around it, and it's basically like a brick which has been hollowed out to as like a safety deposit, not safety deposit box, like a secret storage basically. And as you open it out, you do not see anything that remains within it, but with your 26 and your keen perception abilities, you do smell you see the residue of what would have been from dust, would have been coinage in here.
Okay. I'm gonna give that brick to Thoric and just say, Thoric, can you ask Slate about this while I finish up in here?
Sure thing. I'll take the brick out and go up to Slate and ask. We found this in the wall. Thork doesn't know exactly
Where?
what.
I don't recognize that at all.
Hendrik pulled it out. He didn't tell me exactly. Hendrik, what do you want me to ask?
Why there's a hollow brick in his house?
Why is there a hollow brick in your house?
I don't know. It must have been there when the home was built. Was there anything inside it? Any note, anything like that?
Oh, sorry, Mike was muted. It's empty.
Yeah. Kind of just looks like puzzled. No. Philip, she kind of like going over thoughts in his head. He kind of can I see it for a second?
Yep, and I hauled out the brick for him.
Passes it, looks it over, sees like a layer of dust, sniffs it a little bit. This smells like metal, like coinage. That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, because it's a brick.
No, my wife, she had her vices. She couldn't work. I didn't want her to work. I wanted her to look after herself. Um, the money that I made working in the yards and fixing wagons, everything that I had, I would spend. I never gave any of it to her to keep because she would spend drinking or going gambling. I never entrusted her with money. I've never seen this before. The gestures towards the brick.
Sorry, Mike keeps muting.
You right?
So do you think that she was taken and maybe she tried to offer what was there to not be taken? And they took both? I don't know.
No one in this neighborhood. No, we're not worth anything here. If someone were to rob us, well, the most valuable thing would probably be me, or. But no, this is a safe place. The shields keep kind of going over his thoughts and emotions. Like, no, we are dirt poor. We don't have any, no riches, no nothing.
Could it have been that she? Sorry, could it have been that she found an alternate place to hide the coin needed for the vices for her gambling?
She she swears she wasn't going any longer. When I got back, I said I would take care of her and my child, that she wouldn't need to debase herself like that, committing vices against the God's teachings. He kind of slumps like just on the back wall, the front wall of the house, and just like falls to his ass on the stone. Can puts his
but-
hand. Yeah, go ahead, Hendrik.
So I was saying before I rejoin this conversation, while I'm
Mhm.
still in the house, before I finish up, I would like to look up. Anything up?
You look up and you see a roof which is in dire need of repair and fix before the next winter.
Okay, thank God. Okay,
There are 7 zombies directly
I would
above
like. Hey, man, it's fucking.
you.
Yes, there's a 50-50 chance. Okay, good.
No one looks up.
I've thoroughly scoured. I look up every time. I've thoroughly scoured this house, and I'll go outside and rejoin the party.
Mhm.
When
Um,
was it that you said they disappeared? Was it for the past couple of hours?
Yes, they've probably just before. It was quite late in the evening. Philip asked me to go to get a meal, maybe 8 o'clock. So when I left, and I came home just before 9 hours into the evening, and they were gone. The travel bags, which we had packed today, gone with them.
Was there anything else still left in the house, or? And this is more directed at Hendrik. Like,
Mhm.
was there still like a lot of packed stuff, or?
you want me to make stuff up, or you want to tell me if there's?
There's
I'm
still like
asking-
a lot of stuff. There's still a lot of stuff that would probably be ready to go back on the wagon. Like we're talking like extra clothes, extra food. They probably are trying to like they still want to pack some of their firewood as well at the back of the house. So there's still like probably half a wagon left from the house to move into the actual wagon itself before they leave tomorrow, or leave probably later tomorrow.
I am perplexed. The people we've run into today that cause problems have. I mean, as far as I can tell, money would not be the. They have bigger things
What
to worry
people?
about than money.
What people? What are you talking about?
Oh, a necromancer tried to murder us. tonight in an ambush because they thought that we were one of his lackeys.
His jaw drops open wide, and he stares at you in absolute just shock. You lose a point of piety for telling someone about a dark secret.
Oh fuck! That's a dark secret. Oh yeah, it's necromancy. It's really, really
It's you just kind of said
the fool I was.
No, they just been burning people at the stake over there. Yeah, you know, right? Yeah.
Yeah. What piety were you currently on, Ryan?
I was at 7.
All right, cool.
Yeah, I still have the thing. Oh, what a
You
fool.
feel just a tinge of like, oh, shouldn't have done that.
I should not have said that. I should not have said that. If they have left in the past couple of hours, it is possible that someone in the area might have seen them. And he's sort of like, he means sort of like the immediate neighbors. So
Yeah.
I
Make a
will-
perception check for me, please, Lorna.
Okay.
Did I go inside the house to feel the cold and see if I can do an Arcana check on what might leave that residue?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can.
Okay.
10. Liranok, last time you were here, before you actually went to basically get hired by the matriarch of that merchants guild, merchant family, who then the siblings that you find. You talk to a teenager about this house, about Slate, and you see about 30 feet away, you see the same boy sitting on the same porch house, probably no more aged of like 13 or 14, but you can see like a dull glow of like a pipe being smoked, and like him under like a torchlight above like
Shit,
the.
they start it early. This
Yeah.
kingdom.
You see him.
Yes.
It's a
Four
crack pipe.
You step inside and you feel this, and you're like, residual magic, presence. What is going on here? With an 18, you would know that some entities are so charged with magic, magical power, that they leave behind like almost like an aura of where they've been. Now, the most obvious is like literally like aura of God, which you can feel around, like you feel like yourself being on sacred ground when you're on the grounds of a church or a holy site,
Hmm.
and the presence of angels as well. But this is like an aura of uncomfortability and just despair and hollowness. It's not something that you felt before. But that's your best kind of guess that whatever was in this house, it left a mark. And
that. Oh, sorry, on you go.
make what's your intelligence?
I think it's
Like
13.
16 or something, 16, 15.
Hold on, let me grab. It's not. No, it's not that high. I don't think. And it's 15.
And it's 15. You got pretty high wisdom. You would be able to.
Wasn't 18.
Yeah, you would probably be able to ascertain that this mark, this kind of pulse of aura that's been left here, was done so on purpose.
Right. Okay. So it's not something that just like naturally emanates. Like we couldn't follow it outside. It wouldn't
No,
be like a
'cause these
trail, but he's like
creatures,
let them know that he's there, like a calling card.
yeah, or like a warning. You're not sure, but you know the creatures
Right.
like angels and powerful like paladins are able to present these auras, and they're able to like kind of suck them back in. So if someone's trying
Right.
to remain hidden, they can.
Okay, that makes sense. I'll head back out and rejoin. Rejoin the group. Yeah, rejoin the group.
Mhm. Slate has not spoken since he got told the necromancer was involved.
Oops. Leonard will, I guess, be talking to the teenager.
You want to walk over to him?
Yes.
He sees you walking over and like, oh, shit, and like suddenly like kind of coughs a little bit as he takes a deep inhale, and then kind of throws the little tobacco pipe like over the porch into like a little plant pot.
I think if he's seen that, he'll sort of wave up. I am not concerned with that. I wish to ask something of you. We believe that these two people, the mother and the daughter in that household, have left here unexpectedly. Do you happen to remember seeing something perhaps in the past couple hours?
like nods a little bit, and then looks you up and down. Kind of like fixes his feet a little bit, kind of make himself a little bit more imposing. Yeah, I I'm not gonna get in trouble if I say anything. Are you Brass Shields? You're you're not wearing your correct arm. And kind
I am
of goes to stand up
not.
like, Dad,
That's
and
fine.
yeah, Dad, and he kind of like stands up, and then a few seconds later, about 10, 20 seconds later, the front door opens up, and a kind of heavy set man, unshirted, bare chested, steps out. He looks like he was like shaving his beard, still got like foam and soap under his chin. What is it, boy? And kind of points at you. He says, "This guy's asking me questions about the Galagoses," and kind of looks towards you. You, what's your business?
We are a friend of Mr. Slade. He has come home and unexpectedly found the mother and the daughter, or his wife and his daughter rather, sorry, missing. He believes they have been, well, he believes that it is not expected, it was not planned in any way. We were just wondering if you or anyone in the area might have possibly seen anything happening in the past couple of hours, perhaps these two leaving or anything of that nature.
Yeah, make a persuasion check from please learn. He's
I do love being a persuasion character.
so he says, he kind of looks at his son. You don't need to call me for this. Look at him. He's an angel. Tell him the truth. And he kind of nods. And, I was out here with my friends. We're playing some cards, and there's a guy. He came up and knocked on the door and went inside. He was in there maybe 10, 20 minutes. And then he came out. Miss Galagos walked out with him, and he was carrying a little girl. I think she called him uncle or something.
Call something. Thank you.
Yeah,
Can you
called
tell
him
me-
uncle. She seemed pretty happy, pretty excited.
Can you tell me anything more about this man? Anything at all? Any descriptions?
Yeah, he looked like a guy, standing maybe 6 feet, slim, like had nice, well-fitting clothes, but like nothing fancy. No gold on him, no rings. Didn't look like a priest. I think he was human. Could have been half elven, something like that.
Oh. Quite interested to see that half elvens being thrown around like that. Thought they'd be pretty rare, to be perfectly honest. Okay. So let's
I
say
didn't get a good look. He was across the
yeah.
street and it was dark. I was trying
So,
not to lose my cards.
no problem. So probably about more or less just around my height, slimmer than I am.
Yeah,
Sort of,
definitely.
yeah, slimmer than I am. Robes, but nice robes, but not expected of the truly wealthy. Nothing too stand out in terms of clothing.
No, pretty plain stuff. He did have a hood up when he left the house, but not when he walked into it. But I could just see the back of his head. He had some dark brown hair tied into a ponytail.
Dark brown hair tied into a ponytail. Okay. Was there anything else that stood out? Any markings, anything of that nature?
No, I think that's it. And the father kind of steps out, puts his hand on the guy's on the boy's shoulder. I think that's enough. Thank you very much for caring for our community, Angel.
No,
Have
thank
you been
you.
smoking my pipe? And then he kind of and then kind of sheepishly like looks at his dad.
I
Just
learned
go
it
get
from
it.
you.
No, it's like just go get it. We'll talk about this in the morning when your mother's home. And he goes, oh, and the kid just cringes, like, oh no.
Oh no, I'm in trouble with the mother. But no, thank you. This will be very helpful for us. We very much. One last thing. Did you see what direction they walked at all,
I think they just went back towards maybe Old Town Way, maybe heading down the kind of circular road through the entertainment district, southern part of town, I think.
Okay.
But once they're down the edge of that street, it angles off, and I can't really
Yeah.
see.
No, I understand. Thank you very much for your help. This it could be very important.
Hmm.
You did well. Thank you.
Yeah.
Then Leronok's effectively going to let them go. I'm assuming they're going to be going inside.
Yeah,
But
they
yeah,
just leave and retire for the evening.
he will walk back over to Slate and more or less sort of. It seems someone did visit. Do you happen to have a brother at all?
What? Kind of like focus, like snaps out of whatever thought he was in.
He
No,
said,
no,
"Do you have a?"
no.
I was told
I'm an only child.
anyone that your daughter might consider an uncle. Or is
Does
it
your
just
wife
talking?
have a brother?
No, she has no family. She was an orphan in
Is there
Breakwater.
anyone close that might be considered? The child there mentioned that someone knocked on the door, entered the home, and that your daughter was calling them uncle.
Even more confused. No, no one in the. I kind of like gestures towards herself. I done a sentence of hard labor. My wife doesn't have a well-respected reputation. No, we don't have any friends. No one like that anyway. I have a few acquaintances I might see in the street and wave at, but no one in this town. It's why we wanted to leave. Kind of just
You mentioned
stumbles again.
before that this person's man was capable of removing your memories, correct?
Yeah.
Perhaps perhaps if they can remove them, perhaps they can change them as well. Something to get them to leave on their own terms without looking too suspicious. The child mentioned they were walking towards the old town. Perhaps we'll look into it there, but unless there's been something else found within the home.
Well then, if they're going that way, then let's go look for them.
That we will. We will go and look for them. But first, we need to make sure we haven't missed anything here. He's just gonna again look at Hendrik, sort of see
Hendrik just shakes his head like, "No,
Okay.
no."
Okay. I'm going to go and have a look inside the house as well, see if there's just happenstance something missed. But we'll go have a look shortly.
Okay, so you want to step inside the house as well, Leronok?
Yes.
You feel the same cold tingling sensation against your skin, and even under all your padded armor and leather straps and gauntlets. You feel just a shift in your breath. Kind of, you can see your breath when you kind of take that first exhale when you step inside the house.
Leronok is I'm going to try and use Divine Sense and see if I get anything from Vestal.
Yes, you do have a feature that does do that.
I mean, at the very least, it seems like the person we're dealing with is capable of necromancy. So maybe
you stretch out and dig within your feelings. You do not sense a celestial fiend or undead within 60 feet of you.
Okay. Yeah, in that case, I imagine he'd look around, but probably he'll again be looking for forced entry and everything that Hendrix already has looked for. So
yeah, it looks just like a home that was getting ready to be packed up and moved. Family's ready to leave, and 2 family members left, and everyone was left behind.
This will not be easy. Okay, we'll head back out.
Mm-hmm.
Find anything?
No,
Hmm.
did not see anything. Nothing
Okay.
that I do not imagine you found.
My gut tells me that we should travel to Old Town direction and see if we run across anything. Since we have no other leads.
The person Philip who asked him to go for a meal, is there any point in investigating if he's involved? Get the father out of the house, allow for the person to come in and collect the children.
Well, it was his wife that asked him to go get a meal, right?
It
I
was,
thought it was.
Yeah.
Oh, I was just waiting to say that. Sorry, I thought it was
Yeah.
his friend. So her name's Philippa.
yeah, that's Philippa Galglios, and then the child
Okay.
is Camilla.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Okay. Old Town it
I
is.
think we'll start heading towards it. Just see what we can find. It's
Yeah.
a long shot on our part, but
So, as you do, you take Slate with you, just leave him like kind of sitting against the slump of his house.
Yeah,
We
I'd
should
be
take him with us.
I'd be very concerned
Uh,
to leave him alone.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I was gonna say he doesn't have any more sources of information past this point. And okay, group huddle over here, guys. Get like
Okay.
10 feet away from Slate.
I put my arms around everyone.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Slate has given us all the information he can, and doing an investigation while one of the family members is with us can cause issues.
There is a possibility that Slade is in danger, or he's a danger to himself.
Okay,
I
let's
will
babysit
I will
Slate.
keep him busy. I will keep him a ways back from the investigation proper if you wish to take the lead.
Okay,
But
Larnock, he's going to be your responsibility then.
Hendrik, with your intelligence of 19, your character would have thought you're a very logical guy.
supposed to tell him my intelligence.
I'm telling you this because I'm reminding you because your person, you Ryan might not have
My
thought of this, but your
character is
would have.
smarter than I am. Yes, I understand.
If you leave Slate behind and he goes and tells the brash shield that necromancy is involved and his family's missing, you could bring a whole waft of big fucking brass knuckles down upon your head.
Fuck. Yeah, okay, that's true. Yeah.
Hmm.
I didn't
Oh.
expect Slate to be stupid.
I don't think he was expecting
he's
you to be
and-
stupid.
yeah, we did just have a level intelligence 19
yeah,
character
no.
Blabbit.
I think that's more willpower, something, maybe not intelligence. I mean, intelligent people can be blabby. Yeah, okay, fuck. Okay, great. Yeah, you're right. Okay, Slate, come on, we're gonna go to downtown. Zernak is your responsibility. Watch him. That's stop him from dying or doing stupid.
Everything on this was something I intended to do.
I know you're a very reliable person.
You see him walk up to the wagon with all the supplies. He's got like his travel bag, and it's like quite heavy, like Bergen almost. And he like reaches into it and he grabs a metal chain with the symbol of Mina on it. And then at the bottom of it, he like fishes out like a old kind of style mace, and then loops it onto his belt, and then grabs like a smaller satchel, just like rations or food and a water skin.
Just on this, whereabouts is Old Town in Erith?
If you have
On-
Legend Keeper, there is a man.
Oh, no, there it is.
Okay.
Literally the fucking one pin I hadn't looked at. God damn it.
Old Town is basically like
Yes, the eastern as part of it.
yeah.
Okay.
Mhm. Yeah. So
okay.
yeah. Okay. All right. So yeah, you go and they were kind of heading like an eastern angle, like off the street, like past the hospital Rias and towards the memorial field is kind of that main thoroughfare of where you gather. All right, okay. It's pretty late in the evening, like it's 2 a.m., probably 2:15 by the time you guys have discovered all this and had this talk and investigated. So the only people we really see on the streets are really just brash fields patrolling. And you guys are a bit of a hodgepodge of like well armored and stuff like that. And you probably get you'd probably get to like the peripheral edges of Old Town, and this brass shield guard in full plate mail with a halberd walks up to like who's ever leading, which I imagine probably be Hendrik.
Mhm.
Kind of
Yeah, probably.
yeah, he sees you and looks at you, kind of gives a dry smile. Good evening to be walking about.
Yes.
Looks over your group. What's your business? You just come
Yeah.
into town?
Yeah, I'm gonna pull out the fucking pendant.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking FBI
tier.
badge.
Yeah, exactly. And just say we're on an investigation. This man's wife. It's a complicated mess. But we're headed to Old Town where she was last seen.
Make a persuasion check with advantage because you are a agent of Tyr.
What the fuck? I have +5, guys. I have +5.
So
Ow!
Yeah.
he looks at you. He looks at you, and he gestures the man. This one goes, why? Kind of confused for a second. He's got 3 other guys with him, but they're not really paying attention. They're more like looking down side alleys or carrying a lantern. This sounds like Breast Shield business. Kind of.
And if I had,
Can't you go to the patrol house?
we're hoping to solve this immediately, and I'm worried that if we take too much time to go to the Brass Shield house, the one lead that we have will slip away. We can't spend a lot of time on this. In fact, we should get going as soon as possible.
As you like step forward, he steps in front of you. Wait, puts a hand up to gesture. And kind of snaps his fingers. Laronal, parchment, and he hands a piece of parchment, and he gets out an ink pen from his belt loop. Can I have your names, please? And the
Hendrik,
missing wife.
Thoric, Lyranok, Torkel, Slate, and Slate. What was your wife's name?
Philippa.
Philippa.
Writes that down. Get notes settled down. And when did she go missing? And he
An
goes
hour
to
ago.
speak up, and he says, "I know you both say at the same time." Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. And why do you want to go to Old Town? There's obviously not restricted. You can wander the town wherever you want, but is someone holding her there? What's the meaning of all this? How did this start?
You guys want to come help?
Obviously, this is protecting the citizenry. This is what we do.
Fantastic. Can we talk while we walk? Because again, this is the only lead we have, and it is dwindling.
Yes, he nods, and then he says, "Lyrno, I'm keeping this. Go to the patrol house and ask for more and get all this down." He goes, "Yes, yes, Sergeant," and he runs off, heading towards the Brass Shields house and the patrol house.
Okay, DM. I'm not going to play this word for word, but I'm going to give a general description of the story that I give this fellow.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to mention that I am a agent of Tyr, that I am tracking a evil cult, that headquarters knows of my investigation, and that tonight a how would I give a half truth?
An agent of that cult.
Yeah, an agent of that cult made an attempt on my life, and we believe that they were trying to assassinate Slate as well, and that the wife of Slate.
Mm-hmm.
There was Slate's kid too, but I didn't mention the kid earlier, so I'm not going to mention it again. I'm just going to whatever, because then he's going to be second guessing me. That they were last seen going in this direction, led by a man that we don't recognize. It was either because the person that tried to take us myself was trying to kill me. It is perhaps this lady fleeing from a similar fate with a family friend. Alternatively, he has her under a thrall magically.
Kind of like when you say magically, he goes, that is highly irregular.
Not for my line of work. I run into it all the time. It's
Yeah, he just like kind of looks shocked and where did they try to kill you? It was in Rackmere itself?
Oh, it was right outside of Rackmere. It was a farm, a vineyard.
Okay. Alright, okay. I see what you're doing. So Hendrik tells the Brashfield sergeant that a cult tried to kill him. They took his wife, they took Slate's wife and his daughter, and you tell him about the barn.
The best lies are 95% truth.
Mm.
What's the line? It's like a good speech isn't one where people know you're telling the truth, or where no one can prove that you're lying.
Okay. So I'm just writing this down so I have it in paper what you've said. Interesting. So yeah, so you head to Old Town, sorry, and he like picks up the pace, and you kind of run into more like Brashfield patrols, and the sergeant greets them and says, "Oh, we're looking for a missing woman," and then he asks Slate, "Give a description." Slate
Yeah,
gives
it's like a
and
description. Yeah.
yeah. So that passed on to one patrol, and then another one, and then a third one, and you didn't see any more after that. And then, what are you looking for? Like probably 10 minutes have gone by. You're kind of walking through the streets of Old Town. What are you looking for? What's the plan here?
I stop and pray.
Okay, you prayed a tear.
I pray to Tyr. Tyr, guide me so that I can follow this lead and smite the evil spellcasters of this land. Which I'm not saying this out loud.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
have broken the laws of the land and of nature.
Okay.
And like honestly, when you don't have a lead very good and you get in a theocracy and gods are real, praying's about the best thing I can do.
You pray and you don't hear anything in your mind, in your ears. You don't see anything. You pray, the prayer ends, and nothing has changed. Everyone's looking at you for direction. The sergeant, like, I might get back to my patrol. Split up around Old Town, see if we can see anything. I think it's best to take Slate back and have a parchment drawn up around his wife's depiction, and we can get it posted around the city. And Slate goes, that's a good idea. That's a good idea. I should do that.
Is gambling legal in this city?
Gambling is legal, yeah. It's it's like kind of covered under the remit of like the Church of Mina. So gambling houses are like actually like run by and made fair by the Church of Mina.
So
But it's just
when
frowned upon.
yeah, 'cause
Frowned
Slate was
upon in the
talking
sense
about his
that like
wife.
frowned upon in the sense that with any like vice there should
Right.
be self-control.
Right, okay.
So it's not the gambling itself which is the issue; it's the lack
It's
of
like
restraint.
alcoholism,
in
right?
it.
Nobody's
Yeah.
judging you for drinking a drink, but they're judging you for getting so drunk that you can't walk.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll be
Um,
judging this woman for spending so much coin and time
For
and ignoring
losing,
her daughter or husband.
yeah, for losing our shirt, basically.
Hmm.
So we're getting a bunch
We
of
are
white
hearing
noise.
something on Solos.
Oh.
He's RoboCop.
I'm
It's,
gonna mute
it's God's
Solus.
trying to talk to us. This is
This is what Roderick hears.
Wait,
Okay.
yeah, this should be.
There we go. That's fixed. Yeah, that was interesting.
That. That's the reason why. Okay. Should be all fixed now. Is that okay? Can you hear anything now?
He has to have got this money from somewhere,
Yeah,
unless it was the
is
child.
Slate still here?
Yeah, he's with you. He's like desperately right now. He's giving the brass shield a big description of what his wife looks like.
Yeah, okay. I'll just ask Slate. Is there any way that she would have known that there was danger coming to her?
No, we were going to leave to make an insight check.
Yeah, I
see,
see. I
please.
see where this is going. Insight with advantage because my racial thing. 20. Thank
20.
God.
When you said, "Does he know anything?" So when Slate arrived to you, he said, "Oh, he's taken her," and he hasn't really said much explaining who or he is. And when you say, "Could she have known?" There's something there that I guess the best to describe it is just this kind of confluence of like unsuredness and shame was the best way to
Yeah.
put it, to say something. And then he kind of looks at the brass shield when you ask this question. Brass shield like has the parchment there. And he's the priest. You answer him, not me. And he kind of just looks at you. It kind of starts to stammer his words. Do you say anything before he can like basically fib? Because he's not, he starts to kind of bumble his words.
If he's bumbling, I'm
Yeah.
just going to I'm gonna put my hand on his shoulder to try and get his attention. I'm gonna look
Yeah,
over
you
at the
got his
guard.
attention. Yeah.
I'm gonna look over the guard and say, "I need to talk with my friend in private for a moment." And I'm going to what's the word? Like strongly move Slate with me via the friendly
Guide
hand
him.
I have on his shoulder. Yeah, I'm gonna
Yeah.
guide him
Yeah,
5
he
feet
doesn't
over
fight
this
it. He
way
comes with you. Yeah. Yeah.
and say, Slate, I need you to speak your mind. This is important.
Well, uh, my wife, Philippa, she's an honest woman, a good woman. But when we met, she worked in a love house, but not like a Nomellan one. Um, she worked within Liberty Corner in Breakwater, one that wasn't ruled by the laws of Mina's guidance. It was owned by outsiders, people not of our culture, and it's she she had to do things not in accordance with our ways and laws. But we moved out of there and we left. Um, but that's where I met her. Maybe she annoyed someone when she took off and left, because we basically left in the middle of the night, and I got her out of here, and we came to Rathmere to make a new life for ourselves. Um, make a history check for me, please.
Yes, sir.
Natural 20. Wow. 24. So when he says Liberty Corner, that is kind of an infamous part of Breakwater. It's not lawless in the sense of there are still brass shields that patrol it, and there's still a justiciar who would be in charge of kind of keeping order of violence. But it is a shady place where people of different cultures are allowed to kind of exist within their own parameters and own ways of thinking. So like people from the Glantios coast can worship their gods there. Dragonborn who worship other dragon deities can still
Sorry,
reside there.
I have a question. You said it's Freedom Corner,
And Liberty Corner.
Liberty.
Liberty Corner, and sorry, you haven't specified. Is this in the city?
No, this is the
Breakwater.
Breakwater Rhyme.
Breakwater. Thank you. Okay.
Yeah.
Was
Mhm.
this, and obviously this is me, because it's been 2 weeks, was this the same area where we were told that by what's in
The Azamar agent did say that she once tracked Limes, the man who materialized in front of
Yes.
Hendrik before the ambush, and basically said goodbye. She said that she tracked him once to Liberty Corner, but she felt uncomfortable there.
Yeah,
And
she
was
didn't,
way
want, she,
outside of
didn't,
her
she didn't
remit.
want to stay out of Backmere for too long.
What did we have her name? What was her name? Sorry,
He
agent.
never give you a name.
Okay, just ask me your agent.
I just know where to
Yeah.
find her. It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
We know where. I don't think we can get in, but
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's a knock on door. Hope they answer job.
Mhm.
Okay. So DM, just so to rephrase, so I feel like I understand this, is that his wife has like connections outside of their marriage, and that she might have run away, right?
No,
No?
this is she worked in a part which is outside the god's purview, like outside the 12's eyes, is the way it's kind of phrased at Liberty Corner, and she worked in a brothel in that area. So it's kind of like seen as, I don't want to say blasphemous, unholy, but just like socially embarrassing and disgraceful to be like a God-fearing citizen, but to lower yourself to work there, especially in a brothel, without the kind of stipulations and teachings of Numela or other gods
Okay.
there.
I'm going to say to Slate, what does that have to do with what's happening tonight, Slate?
You said if anyone could hurt her, and that's all I can think of. She had to make company with a lot of bad people.
It's been
May-
years, though. You think that would catch up to her now? Tonight?
I don't know.
Okay. Okay, Slate. We have a lot of people out here looking. We're gonna keep looking the rest of the night.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna go with this guard captain to the Brass Shields headquarters and make a missing persons file, whatever,
Report.
paperwork.
Yeah, a parchment.
My tip to you is to limit speculation and only give facts. That includes ignoring what I said about the necromancy. I might have been wrong, and I don't want a bunch of people freaking out over something that might not even have any connection to this at all. It is something I should not have told you and is under the purview of Tyr.
Make a deception check.
Is that deception?
Yes, you definitely are. You're saying, well, I could have been wrong. Because when you said it, you're very earnest and you read that on it, you told him the truth, and now you're trying to obfuscate the truth. Definitely be a deception check in my book.
I'm confused. What am I lying about?
You're saying that
I'm trying to convince someone to lie for me.
Exactly, which is
that's
even more
persuasion.
deceptive.
You're lying.
Right?
You know it was a necromancer. You were telling him it's not a necromancer to try and get him not to rat you in.
Okay, yes.
You're lying to him.
Yes, you're right. I am lying to. Okay, yes, that makes perfect sense.
Thank you.
I will do persuasion 14. Does he believe his best buddy Hendrik?
That's
persuasion. It was meant to be deception.
Yeah, can you just take that roll? They're the same number. They're the same number.
So deception is still +5?
Persuasion's +5, deception's +5, yeah.
Okay, it's still the same. All right, okay.
Yeah, my bad. Yeah.
That's okay.
All right, okay. Yeah, so okay. Sure. Yes, I'll kind of like to break the tension a little bit. Well, I was once part of the Hydra. I know how to keep a secret. And then
you said not keeping that secret.
Yeah. Well, he physically.
No. I know what you mean, but it's quite funny.
Yeah. Realizes it's a shit joke, and then kind of firms up his. I'm gonna go to the card, and yes, as you said. Where are you going to be at the tavern if they need to come look for you?
I'm gonna be out here in the streets looking for your wife and child for quite a while. I can't tell you when I'm gonna be back at the tavern. I don't know how long this search is going to last.
If we will
it-
return there
no.
at some point, if you need to get us a message, ask.
You leave it with the tavern
Peel.
keeper, yeah.
Sorry, got Pio.
Yeah.
Pio. Ask Pio to hold it for us. We will get it when we return.
All right. Okay. Yeah. He says yeah. He says okay, and then the guard captain, the original sergeant, has followed you. He leaves with Slate, and it's just your party now. In Old Town at about getting close to 3 a.m. now.
Hendrix used to being tired. It's fun.
Oh, fuck it. You get off on 4 hours rest.
No, I don't. No, I require 8 hours sleep, just like all the rest of you.
That's not true.
Hold on a second.
I'm pretty
Hold on a
objectively
second.
not
Hold
true.
on, hold on a second. Yeah, 23. Suck at that.
You straight up. Wait, I'm pretty sure. Wait, has he ever
You've
revealed?
already told us
He
that.
took his wig off. He did take his wig off.
I did take
We-
my hood off. Yep.
Yes.
We've
both
seen
both been
you do
years.
patrols.
Sorry, you two were talking over each other. Sean, can you go?
We've seen you do watches during rest. It's not
I have
hard for
slept.
people who are with you 24
have-
Yeah, not for 8
I have
hours.
slept 8 hours every single night so far.
That's not true.
Guys,
it is.
guys, he
Yeah,
has
yeah.
rolled deception checks every time he has slept, and stealth checks.
I have laid in bed for 8 hours every day. You guys have known me.
Okay, but we've seen you without the wig. The ears are
Yeah,
distinctive.
that's also true.
Do you know a
Yeah.
lot of elves then?
He's
I was
really-
in the war.
Personally
I have
met
killed
a
a
lot
lot
of
of elves.
Yeah, that doesn't make you an expert on
Yes, it does. Know thy enemy.
killing.
Yeah, I know. I'm great at surgery. They just always end up dead.
Hold on. In the collectible card game within the setting Hierophants and Heathens, in the kind of the back of the nomenclature of the book for the magistrate faction, it does like there's kind of breakdown of art of lore, and it does say that high elves only need 4 hours of basically trance and sleep. So this is
Hendrik,
something that people
No, I am.
Who knows?
I know.
Hendrik is there telling you I need 8 hours, but I'm
Yeah,
fine
doesn't matter.
going through it.
Yeah.
It's definitely not the most
No,
important
we
thing
got
that's going
fucking
on.
sidetracked like a motherfucker there.
I blame
Does,
her for questioning me.
does Hendrik inform us of the information that Steele gave him before he sent him away?
Yeah,
Or-
I will.
okay.
Yeah, group huddle. Yeah, I'll get that information that she worked at a brothel at Liberty Corner at Breakwater. He fears that she might have people after her. However, that would be an extreme coincidence that whatever problem she had in her past happened to catch up on her on the one night that a bunch of
Wait.
purges are going on.
And we know that the Asimir agent talked about Liberty Corner specifically.
Yeah, you definitely remember
Yeah.
those exact words. Yeah.
Yeah,
And she said that Limes, the guy who we know works for the Six Fingered Man, was tracked to Liberty Corner.
Yeah.
And we know that Philippa worked in a brothel in Liberty Corner, and we know that the area was so not deranged, but the area was in such a state that even the Asimir agent didn't feel comfortable staying there.
Yeah.
So it could be marked. It could be marked by the same guy, right? It could be that same kind of like feeling in that area,
But
depending
that-
on
Mhm.
how powerful
that-
it
Could
is.
be, but
That
I don't.
leads-
I don't think this is just someone from the past, because if
No.
that was the case, it would be weird for them to have left that
but for
Do we
Liberty
know how
Corner,
long ago she left?
couple of
Uh,
hours.
an hour. or
No.
so.
Do we know how long ago she left Breakwater?
Oh God, no.
near a decade.
Yeah,
A decade?
definitely a decade she's been gone. Yeah.
Okay, and the kid's like 3 years old, right?
Yeah, the kid was born just after Slate. So she was pregnant when, you know all this because Slate told you all this. She
Yeah.
was pregnant with Slate's child, and he got sentenced to go to the quarry to go to Eland, and she was born kind of just when he got back. She's about 9. She's about 9 years old.
There was no overlap between. There was no way that the kid could know anybody from that area to a familiar level where she would
No.
refer to them as uncle, because
No.
the timelines don't match up. But there's no. We have no other leads. There's no.
See, if magic wasn't a thing, we could deduce shit, but magic gets in the way.
Curse you, magic!
Yeah, I mean, let's be clear here. Slate was in prison for 2 years, and
He could have been in prison for 2
we
years if he went away before she was born, and then he was back when just
He
after she was
was
born.
he was imprisoned for 6 years,
Oh,
and,
6
and when
years.
by the time he came back, his wife had been raising their child by herself for all
Right.
that time.
Okay. I see.
Wait,
Right.
so the kid's how old is the kid?
Like 9.
She'd be about 9 or 8
Okay,
years old.
gotcha. Okay, because earlier I thought you said 3, so I'm like, wait a second, something
No,
doesn't matter.
Sean just said 3 as a guess.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay. Alright.
I was kind of in the same boat because you did
Okay.
correct. So I was like, going, oh my god, that's a.
I mean,
Anyway,
let's say hypothetically, Slate goes to prison, and if she is having trouble with money or whatever, she might get another man. And I mean, Uncle, all I'm saying is, people who are in desperate need of money might do things that put them in a bad position. She might have leaned on the only connections she knows in order to make it through that 6 years of poverty.
potentially, but it can't be that just that because there's a magic connection to it, because why would they have left that?
Yeah, that's
like intentionally left that feeling mark. I don't know how to describe it.
true.
Like that was
chill,
there,
yeah.
placed specifically. That's not.
Let's get the ASMR woman.
true.
Let's bring her to the house.
Could be helpful.
Get the ASMR woman who was in Liberty and bring her to the house and see if it's anything remotely close to anything she's felt when she was there. Because if we can put that man in both of those places, then we know that we have to go to Breakwater. Otherwise, we can go and investigate the gambling dens or something like that and find out how she got the money. That's the only other real clue we have, is that she was hiding something from her husband.
A lot of
Seems like money, and she would have had to. She's taken that money before she's left, so she's probably not been mind controlled. If she's maybe, I mean, I think the odds are lower on someone who's mind controlling you, informing you to take the money from the secret stash that he doesn't know about, right?
agree.
So she's taken that money off of her own accord.
I don't think it's mind control. It's changing memories. So it could be that it could be a complete stranger walks up and goes, "I'm your best friend and uncle. Come with me." And you do it willingly, but
I get that, but I still don't think that would mean that she would take if someone who comes up and is in some kind of mirage, or convinces you that you are really good friends and you know each other, right? And it's not mind control, but it's basically a charm, right? And he says, "Come with me." I don't think that necessarily then would indicate that you would then go and get the money from the hidden place. I think she's probably taken that off of her own prerogative. And I think that either we try and tie the calling card to something else so that we can identify who left it, or maybe what group of people left it, or we tie the money to, we try and source the money to see if she's been secretly hiding this stash away so she can leave him effectively, right? Those are the two options in my head.
but
I would
It's all
side
said.
more that she's being coerced in some way.
Agreed.
That's the way I would lean. That's why I would lean. Not saying that you're definitely wrong. It's just the way I'm leaning right now.
So we have.
I think being in your own prerogative is a very difficult situation when there's memory manipulation on the table. Like,
right, but all I'm saying is that what's the trigger for her to take the money that she's been stashing away if she's just been charmed?
Because the charm could have made her think that Slate is an incredibly abusive person and she should leave.
Okay.
But why would she be hiding them the money before that if she didn't believe that already?
Stop. I think we've made some good points, and we've deduced some things. We're going into a circle here. We can take several courses of actions right now. I agree with Torkel that having the chill investigated by someone who might be familiar with it is a good idea. We don't know how long that chill is going to last, so we should do that sooner rather than later.
Yeah.
In addition, this lady, she came to Old Town. We know that she has connections outside of this city that are in Liberty Corner. DM, is there a gateway in this direction from Slate's house? Like, if someone leave the city, is there's a wall around the city, right? Or at least a barricade?
There's a wall. There's a wall around the city. Yeah.
And would there be a gate in this direction?
The most closest gate would be north, going up to the road of Reavers towards East Cairn Fort, but that's a pretty well. There's not much up there except the Silver Templar fortification up there.
North, yeah, she probably wouldn't be heading. We don't know that actually. We
I
don't know which.
mean, yeah, looks like there's 3 entrances or exits. There's the north one, which is up towards Wayfarer's Copse.
So, if someone wanted to leave the city, her traveling from her home to Old Town doesn't make a lot of sense, then, right?
No. it
Okay.
doesn't. She'd probably be better just cutting straight south going to Sanson Square and going straight out that way. But
Okay.
If they wanted to leave
If-
without any
if it-
form of like magical transportation, though, right? Like
yeah,
There-
or if they
teleport
were trying to avoid a tail.
I don't know
Yeah,
if you
just
can
go a
find
different direction.
magical teleportation in this country, really.
I mean,
No, it exists. It just
I'm
hasn't
sure
been
you
created
could
by-
I think the
it does it.
Okay.
The
the
enemies
Troops
don't-
have-
the
Troops
enemies
have access
certainly
to
can.
it.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I didn't realize
You can-
that was a like cleric spell, but okay. Whatever, it's fine.
Teleportation Circle I think is a cleric. Well,
Oh, really?
there's
I think it's arcane only.
Yeah,
there's
so-
recall
yeah.
anyway.
there's Board of Recall. Yeah, that definitely is one.
Anyway, so she's headed to Old Town. We can surmise that she's not heading to leave directly tonight. I think that oh Christ, we should split the party. Some of the people should get the Asmar, bring them to Slate's house, see if they can recognize it. That way, at least we have a long-term target. That's not a full party thing, though. So the rest of us could continue searching. Because we don't know where she's headed, our best bet is to walk around and hope we run across something that is suspicious or odd or something that stands out.
Should we
You
get the
keeping
word
the
out to the brass shields so that the brass shields can tell the gate guards that they need?
Yeah, a town like this would be pretty well guarded and supervised and closed up at night. You would know this. Like, you're
Yeah,
either tell to wait outside, or they'd be like, identity stone. No, I present it to me, and then you can leave. Closes
Yeah.
at like about 10 p.m. Is probably last outs and ins.
I mean, Slate's going to the brass shield in order to drop or to write the missing person report.
Yeah.
So like that sort of thing I hope it'd be standard procedure to be like not let that person out of the city gates.
Mhm.
Could also, I'm assuming if they're checking identity stones and she has already left, then that would probably be flagged.
There'd be a record, yeah.
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 But we don't know for certain that this 6-fingered man's, if it is him and it's related to anything to do with this underground operation, right? We don't know if they have any guards in their pocket or anything like that, right?
Let's be honest.
I will remind
You
you
probably do.
that
How dare you insinuate that brass
Azamar-
shield to be bought?
she explicitly said not to reveal the limits of our investigation or order to even the Art Zealot, the Church of Vela, or the Brass Shields.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This man has deep pockets.
Because
Oh, that's right.
crime
yes.
is deep.
Yeah.
That's fine. You haven't explicitly said anything about her.
Yeah.
No.
Our own investigation so far. But
As far as the Brass Shields are concerned, Philippa is missing. Hendrik was attacked by some nefarious dark forces in a barn, which is now burned down, probably been put out by now. So that word will probably reach back at some point in the next couple of hours.
The brass steel's still here with us, near us.
There's a couple
Anybody?
nearby and like knocking on doors. Have you seen anything? And knocking on a couple of doors. And, like people are like kind of poking out their windows, like looking around, like what's the commotion like? Because people running around in the street or even jogging and plate meal is going to make some people wake up and like people
Yeah.
are like leaning off the balconies. So
Do we?
what was once a quiet part of town is starting to like come alive. People are like, oh, what's going on? And oh, I heard there's a missing woman. And like, something like that.
Do we? Do we know how, or does Torkel know how identity stones work? If I was to say we need the gate guards to pull the identity stone of this specific person, that would be tied to them in terms of name.
There would be a transactional history of where and when they've entered towns, that you would know that. Your name, your kind of almost essence is linked to it. They're given to you kind of just a few days after you're born, most commonly. And that kind of linked to you by Church of Nedlin, clergyman, clergywoman. Why don't you give me a religion check, please, Torkel, and then you can ask me a couple questions.
Okay. If it logs of the towns you go to, we could.
Thork is not the smartest one here, so he's just kind of letting people make all these plans. He doesn't really know what to say.
22. Great. Yeah, you can ask me 3 questions about identity stones. Cool.
Okay, this isn't a question. This is just confirming the information you've provided me currently.
Uh-huh.
It has your name. It's supplied to you just after you're born, and if used to enter a city, it'll take a log of the cities that you've been in.
Yeah, every time you guys have came in and out of Rackmere, I've just kind of skipped over it. Your identity stones have been scanned. And basically,
Is it magically trackable?
Yes, definitely. Yes.
Who would have the ability to track that?
It would be in the purview of the Brass Shields and the Church of Nedlin. They support the infrastructural, the magical divine records and seeking chambers to kind of track and coalesce all the data and information of the Identity Stone framework across like the country. So there'll be like a regional church or district, like a building or an infrastructure here, probably within the Brass Shields Patrol House, that will like be tracking and coalescing. It'll get copied in the paper and the parchment, and there'll be like a log, like a physical log of it written in the parchment.
But there's no way to actively track, like, there's not, it doesn't work like GPS, right?
No,
It's just,
no, I mean, like, obviously, like, there's spells like locate object, and you can,
right, but you'd have to be within a certain radius of them,
yeah. So, like, so that was a big thing when his child and wife went missing. He told you guys their identity stones are gone. They were in their satchels. They were told to take them with them, obviously, because they're planning to leave tomorrow, and they're now gone. So they have them.
They have them. Good. Okay. And sorry, just last one. And this is kind of a long shot, but with my history, with the newspaper. Hold on. The Chronicle, the Verdian Chronicle. Have I ever came across, whilst reading that or talking to anybody, mention of an illegal trade in identity stones? Is it like, do people supply like fake IDs?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's at this point that Orly, in the quiet huddle, you guys are around. He sticks his hand up. Yes, it's entirely possible to have disarming or fake identity stones. And he kind of reaches into his satchel and pulls out just an obsolescent gem. This is my one.
Wait, what?
Your fake identity or your identity stone?
This is one that, well, it hides who I am to the system.
Sure. Hey, out of character, DM, who is saying these words?
Orly, you're
okay, gotcha.
Member.
Okay. Are you okay making
revealing
a player admitting to committing a felony?
At this point,
I think we already know that Ollie's a criminal.
Yeah.
We just don't know it.
Yeah. I think it's too much of invaluable information to not reveal it at this point, even though he's not here.
Fair enough, dude. Okay.
But yeah, he says, where I'm from in Hallowfall, there was a wealthy family up there, and well, they get a lot of these gems in, and I just needed one. It was just safer to travel the roads when no one really knows who you are. But the way it works is it takes some time to understand how it goes. But when you go and get your stone scanned by the shield man at the gate, you kind of get like an idea of the name in it. So when they ask you what's your name, you're able to tell them. Yeah, it hasn't failed me since. There's definitely places you can still find them. I mean, I was pretty lucky that I used someone up where I'm from helps make them. So I was kind of on ground zero for actually getting one. But there's a lot of people like me who don't want to be noticed and coming in and out of towns. So, I mean, the Brass Shields here have a pretty good hold on things, ignoring what happened to Philippa and the attack that happened to you, Hendrik. But maybe places that are less safe, less patrolled, like maybe Liberty Cornets, maybe where people could get them. I don't know.
Okay.
but they're highly legal. I mean, I don't need to tell you this, Hendrik, but I'm in a lot of trouble for having one of them.
Yeah, you're under arrest.
I'm gonna orally put that away and don't bring it back out. And then I'm gonna whistle to see if I can get the attention of one of the brass shields.
Yeah, yeah.
Gonna turn him in.
This man is committing crime.
Forget the missing woman. This guy's got a secret bad stone. Yeah,
Torko's
the guards have
also
got
really
full
interested
control
in
of him.
figuring out how to make one of those, like how they work, just on a construction level. But anyway, he's going to try and bring a
Let's
brass
learn
shield
that
across.
mystery. Yeah, Bradford runs over. His helmet kind of drips in front of his eyes. The armor's a little bit big on him, and he kind of picks it up. Just nods. Yes.
Yeah. 3 individuals, 1 male, 6 feet tall, dark hair, 1 female, 5 and a bit feet tall, and a small child, maybe 9 years old. You need to tell every guard stationed at any entrance in the city that they have to have a lookout for them, and anything suspicious when giving their name in relation to the identity stone when they are exiting the city.
He nods and then runs off. Probably another maybe 10 minutes have gone by now. Not Hendrik. Slate's been gone for about half an hour, something like this now. More and more shields are starting to like kind of appear.
And we're like
Time.
looking what's going on.
You're
right?
looking. Yeah, you're walking the streets. You're walking the streets. I need all of you guys to make me a perception check, please.
All right.
We also need to split up.
Great at those.
Yeah. So why don't you give me a breakdown of who's what and where?
I'm with Torkel, but kind of distracted by there can be fake stones. What?
People can lie.
People are
I'll
dishonest.
say Orly's going with Torkel. All right, okay. And then we've got Hendrik and Leonok take it together.
Yeah, sure thing. I mean,
You guys should go get the asthma, right?
Okay.
Hendrik has to be involved in that party.
Holy shit.
I don't think I should be
You're
involved.
contact-
I think I'm better here investigating. I think let's
I
send
need to
Lyr.
establish
we'll
something.
go then.
Are you actually split up, or are you still
Yes,
talking as a party
We're
right now?
gonna have to
No,
split
we're
up.
going to split up, right?
We had
Okay.
to get together, talked, argued, and then we split up. We need to send. We can send Torkel, or we can send
Okay.
not Torkel. We can send Stotey's character.
If you're split up, why are you still
Orly.
talking like all together?
Yeah. No, we don't know who's going where. Like, we know whether it's split up, but we as players haven't decided who's going where. So if Hendrik wants to remain investigating, and Thoric wants to come with me, then it's either me, Thoric, and Hendrik investigating, or me, Thoric, and Lyra not going to get the asthma, right?
Okay.
Yeah, I
So
do not mind. I'm kind of, is accepting of both. He will.
Lyra, why don't you and Stotey go together? Because I don't want people being by themselves tonight, the whole nights. So you two go get the Asmar, have them check out the Slate's house, and then Thoric, Torkel, and I will continue looking, see if we stumble upon something here.
I give Lyra a breakdown of what I've found when I investigated the arcane part of that. Okay. So he has all the information I would have had.
Sorry, when I asked for that perception check, this is why you guys are all split up. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So, while you're moving around, so Hendrik's group, where are you going? Just so I better get around to that.
We're investigating still, so
basically,
yeah. I think we're just following the road down to the.
Basically, just fucking wandering, dude. Like we don't have any fucking leads.
Gotcha.
Brothels. Fuck it. She used to work at a brothel. If she has any connections, they're probably with people in connection to brothels.
Or gambling dens.
Or gambling dens.
Right,
Yeah, let's go to the shittiest part
of
Old Town.
Yeah.
This is all closed this part time. So what happens is, so Thoric, Hendrik, and Torkel, the three of you are focused on still looking around, like thinking of business, thinking of that. Hendrik, you're the first to notice this. You are noticing what was the 3 or 4 brass shields around you guys. Then like another couple join them, and then like form like kind of a group. And another 3 or 4 show up, like on a different, like adjacent alleyway. and then another 5 or 6 show up on a different alleyway. You notice this happening. That more and more brass shields are they're like parallel to some of the streets that you're on.
Combing the
There's like
streets.
a group. Yeah, they're combing the streets. Yeah, a couple of them are still knocking on doors asking about the woman.
Okay.
There's just more of them. Okay. Lyranok, let's get to you first. You go to leave Old Town, right? You leave
Yes.
Old Town. And about 7 brass shields are like kind of in your company, like still knocking on doors. And do you tell them you're going?
He'll just make mention of that, like he'll be disappearing. My compatriots are still searching this part. I'll be likely near the home. I'll also make a mention. I may be at the God, was it Bed of Roses or Bed?
Bed of Roses Tap
Yes,
House.
Bed of Roses. I may be at
Yeah.
Bed of Roses a little bit later tonight if a message needs to be gotten to me.
Right. The sergeant, this is a different one than the original one. This is a different guy. He looks at you, and you see his kind of eyes glass over for a second, like he's like you know what it looks like when people get like the message spell cast to them, right? You recognize that you're a paladin. You saw the front lines a lot, and then he speaks. He just goes, acknowledged, and then his eyes stop being glazed over. Why don't you stay here with me, Angel, Sir Knight? We feel that it'd be easier with the 9 of us to search.
Can I insight check him? That seems it seems a bit unusual the way the way he's phrasing it.
Yeah, you can insight check.
Oh boy. Oh god. Oh, okay. I'm not terrible at him. No, I'm not. Okay.
Not bad.
You see it in his eyes. After this message, he has stopped looking at you like a holy avenging knight and more of you're danger to him. He is looking at you like sizing you up. Not like to go and attack you, but just like looking at your weapons, looking at your armaments, looks to Orly as well. And with that, with your passive perception of 14, you see a couple more of the brass shields receive similar glossed over looks.
No.
And they
no.
They look worried, and one of them kind of reaches for a cudgel on his belt lip. It goes to speak to the same sergeant.
No, well,
I don't want to hurt you. Will you please resign your weapons to the floor?
What? Why are you doing this?
I've received instruction that you are to be detained.
Instructions from whom? And what reason do you have to restrain?
Make a persuasion check with disadvantage now that he is hostile to you.
Okay.
Do I want to use my thing?
Feels
Fuck
like
it,
we're doing.
Yeah.
I would like to use my
Yeah.
God, whatever the hell it's called.
Your
I completely forgot what
thing.
it's called. Channel Divinity. That's the phrase I was looking for.
Yeah.
I'd like to use my Channel Divinity.
Go for it, yeah. Was that just a... Okay, so that's a 24.
18.
18. Okay. So you speak in 18. And he says, explicit orders from the Overseer Justiciar. We are to stay under our remit and to be disarmed.
From the Justiciary, was that sorry?
Yeah, the Overseer Justiciar was basically the highest official within Rakmir.
So that's basically the head honcho of the Bashios in Rakmir.
Yeah, yeah.
But There's no reason for me to be restrained. I am not aiding in this search. I am no threat.
That
Also,
is why you are to be detained. Please relinquish your weapons, sir. You are a knight of order and of laws of these lands. Please respect my power as a shield. You might your weapons will be returned to you. I'm sure this is all big confusion, but please.
someone is missing, potentially taken, potentially under threat from who knows what. We are wasting time with this. It would be best if you continue the search, and I will go on my way.
You hear a mumble from the brass shields. He just goes, liar. And then a couple of them other look at him. And,
Can I look at the one that calls me a liar?
yeah, he looks like a maybe 30-year-old man. He was one of the ones that had a glazed over look in his eye. Received the message as well. You look at him. He looks at you like just like
Yep.
you're supposed to be something. You're supposed to be this holy light, and he's just got this look of just like he's looking at you like a fucking food scrap on the corner of a street. Wasting
Why do
away
you call
being
me
eaten by
that?
ants.
Why do you call me that? And Linux actually sort of gonna sort of bring himself to his full like height. He's not slouched
Yeah.
normally, but he just also but it's still like this is when he's like standing
perfectly
tall
straight.
now. It's like
Yeah. Okay.
this is something very important now.
Yeah. He just looks at you and says, "Why'd you do it?"
Why did I do what?
Kind of looks at some of the brass shields, and the sergeant gives him a nod as they kind of all slowly just raise their maces and kind of unhook their shields from the backs of their shoulder blades.
Lerner's gonna book it.
Gonna run.
Yeah, kinda. They are making a very threatening gesture, and also, I have a plan. I have a scheme.
All right. So while you're running, we'll cut back just as you turn, you run. Orly goes, "What the fuck was that about?" And then you just run. And we'll cut over to Hendrik, Torkel, and Thoric. So while the three of you are searching Old Time, with your passive perception, Hendrik of
Your
15,
active
you notice.
perception, right? We rolled 20.
Well, yeah, you've got rolled a 20, but with your passive on top of that as well, just like kind of picking up, you probably get the sense there's about maybe 17, 18 brass shields, like 4 to the street parallel, 2 left. And they're kind of keeping pace with you, like walking almost lockstep with your party. And there's another one on the left-hand street through an alleyway that's kind of making their way towards you, another 5 or 6. And then there's a group kind of ahead of you, still knocking on doors, and a group behind you. The sergeant that originally you talked to, the original 3 pair that talked to you, he kind of walks up, walking behind you. Goes, your attention, gentlemen.
Yes. Did you
Yeah.
find something?
We did. Would you mind accompanying us to the Breshfields patrol house, please?
Oh, was something there for us?
Is the search over?
For now, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
There's there's a lot of guards around, right? They're like searching.
There's like 20.
Okay. Well, okay. They have the search here in hand, I suppose.
Yeah, sounds good to
if
me.
we're near the brass citadel, then
Yeah. So you agree to follow him, and what you thought was you're going to be following the sergeant, maybe a couple others. The groups on the left and right kind of file in, and then the group that was north of you kind of just 180s and turns around, and then basically like they form a perimeter around you and just like walk you down the street, ignoring any houses, not doing anything like that. So to walk you guys out to Old Town.
okay. Hendrik knows.
They must have
Hendrik's smart
found.
enough to know what's going on.
They must have
Hendrik's smart
found
enough
the
to know
woman.
what's going on.
We're all going back.
What do you do, Hendrik?
What would Hendrik do?
His best.
Hendrik is curious enough what's going on that he's not going to cause any issue, but he will. He will. Hold on, I have a class ability. One second. One second.
Don't expect
No,
the case to happen tonight.
no, terribly useful. Never mind. It's not useful to use the class ability right now. Yeah, I'll play along. Whatever. Fuck it.
Yeah.
I imagine that we are going to get yelled at by the lady who's in charge of the breast shields for something that I mean, it could be one of many things. There's a lot of reasons to yell at Hendrik. Okay, let's keep going.
All right. So while the two of you are accompanied, Torkel, do you do anything? Or do you just follow along? You're muted right now, Sean.
I don't think that Torko would I don't think that Torko would understand that this probably isn't legitimate, so he's not going to. He doesn't do anything untoward or anything like that. He just continues.
So we get this shot of you guys basically being escorted out of Old Town. No armaments drawn by any brass shields. They're still just kind of walking, but they're definitely keeping probably the most distance for about 10 feet, 15 feet away from you guys. And we kind of get this zoom out shot of your party, and we go like 7 streets over, like 7 blocks over, and we just see a full-plated paladin just running through the street with a little gnome at his side, like, where the fuck are we going, Leonok? And we're just going to take a quick 10-minute break there. Great.
Oh, so good. So good. One.
All right, Lyranog. If you may find your token on the map, you're currently in the side streets, probably in the middle. You're currently in the side streets of Old Town. These guards are the closest one with you is about 10 feet away from you. And the thing that I need to happen now, you to roll initiative.
Oh yay! My best roll.
Oh, hold on. Just wait 1 second. I need to remove it from last time. What'd you roll? You rolled an 8? Okay, no problem. No, Orly rolled
always
an 8.
like sub 10.
Poor Orly. Orly rolled an 8.
I knew it was gonna happen one
God.
day. The glorious -1.
No. Oh, they got a 3. Oh my god.
The more insane thing is that I was actually close to them.
Yeah. They're full like most of them are in actual actually. Yeah, most of them have swords and shields and maces and stuff like that. All right. So there's this turn. You turn to run and they go, Stop him! Stop him! And Orly quickly just looks at you and like, what are we doing, Leonok? What are we doing? We fighting? We running?
Do I get to answer him or?
Yeah, you can answer him, yeah.
Cool. Yeah, he's gonna tell him like run and we. It's not a fight we need. What we need.
So Orly's going to move 35 feet up here. You watch him turn left. And he's going to action, dash, another 35. Sorry, bonus action. And he's going to use his action to hold his action to attack anyone that you can see chasing after you. Okay?
Okay.
Guard's turn. They are going to basically
just gank me.
Yeah. So that one's going to basically run ahead. He's going to run ahead to here. This one's going to move to there. This one's going to move to there. This one's going to move up to here. And the other 3 are going to dash 60 to chase after Orly, which I don't think would trigger his action because it's specifically to chase you.
Nope. Yeah.
So Orly just sees like one come around the corner, goes, and he's here, and like, I can see him. You hear from the distant group. The 3 that come to you, so I've been reading up the 2024 version of Grapple, but I just need to check the 2014 version of Grapple. I think they need to hit you, and then it's opposed, isn't it,
No,
right?
they swap the.
Attack.
They just swap their attack for it.
Yep.
All right. Okay. All right. They're just gonna do that. They're all just gonna attempt to grapple you, or at least until one of them manages to grapple you.
Yeah, that's fair. They probably won't take too many of them.
No, that's fine. All right. So they don't have advantage, no pack tactics, no nothing. So just one attack. Leaves a spear, but it's still there. It's still +3 to hit. So this is no damage. Oh, it's an after 20.
Wait. Are they hitting me or are they grappling me?
They're trying to grapple you. I thought you needed to hit the grapple.
No.
Okay, so what is it? Just opposed strength checks?
It's just straight opposed. It's just opposed athletics or acrobatics. But I'm going to be honest.
Well, they're just going to make strength checks against you. So, first one for 15. 22.
Nice.
All right, so he runs over, kind of hooks the mace in his belt loop, and you have to grab like your left gauntlet and then wrestle behind your back, and you just like shove him off, and you smack him in the nose. Next one for an 18.
Yeah, I guess.
So the next one comes in, sees you with your gauntlet. He stands on your left foot, and then just basically just like elbows you in the throat, and you catch yourself. But you're wearing pretty heavy armor, so it only catches yourself for a little second, and then he just quickly just grabs your arms and goes, "Get him down, get him into the ground." The next character is going to attempt to knock you prone. I'm just going to post strength for this as well. See if you can refuse to be knocked prone.
Yes, shove.
Shove, yeah. For a 3, which fails.
Yeah. Do you want me to roll or?
Yeah. See if you roll an actual 1. No, you're fine. You're fine. Another 17. All right. The last one is going to attempt to basically shove you prone.
Sure.
For an 18. Another 18. 20.
Get fucked.
Oh, but you succeed. So basically, 2 more guys. You're a massive angelic paladin. They're like trying to shove you, push you over, trying to lock their feet behind yours, and just like, get him in the ground. Don't let him reach for his weapons. Okay. The other one's all done their turn. Leonok, it's now your turn. You're currently grappled and surrounded.
Cool. I'm just going to spend my turn. I'm not going to do anything offensive. He's just going to call out to Orly. Get out of here. Oh, so he's shouting this. I'm not going to shout because it is 7:15 tonight. Get out of here. Warn the others.
All right.
And that's
Okay.
it. And that'll be my entire turn.
All right. Okay.
If I'm allowed, actually, yeah, that's it. That's his entire turn.
All right. Orly hears that. Orly would listen to Leonok, I think, and just run.
Yeah.
So he's going to move 35, move another 35, and then he's going to dash at 35, and that's his turn. All right, okay. Next guards, if you don't fight it there enough, they're just going to put slap manacles on you and arrest you and disarm you.
No, that's fine. I was as soon as I think he's gotten away, he's going to stop resisting because I'm going to be completely honest. That was my entire plan. I was just going to get Orly away and surrender.
All right. Okay. So
this is what I was saying. You probably don't need a map for anything for this.
Well, I need to know it for Orly getting away. So they pin you down to the ground. They disarm you of weapons. They slap manacles on you, fit them tightly. They stand you up. And the sergeant that kind of warns you, he just waits to see if the other ones come back. They don't say anything to you. They just stare at you. And then one of them kind of puts a hand to his throat and speaks some words. He says, "We've apprehended them. We're going to bring them in shortly." And then the brass shields, top 0 initiative. Let's make a stealth check for Orly. See how stealthy he is. He does have advantage because they don't have line of sight, so advantage for Orly. He doesn't have an advantage button. Strange. Stealth. That's oh, sorry. I see how he does it. So 29. Yeah, Orly's gone. Orly's missed. Orly is so.
We're gonna play the next campaign, and Orly's gonna show up in that. What the fuck? Right. Who are you? Sorry. Yeah. That.
And with that, so what happens is, we fade away from Leonok being arrested. The guards come back. They return without Orly, and then we fade over to the other party of Torkel, Hendrik, and Thoric being escorted to the brass shields. And you're like, maybe like, you've walked around Old Town a bit, you're maybe like a couple minutes away, maybe 2 or 3 minutes away from actually seeing the Great Hall and the towering structure of the brass shield house. Any talk, any chatter between yourselves?
No, Hendrick's in a bad mood.
I mean,
He's-
Thoric still
he's-
thinks they're gone.
No, not good.
So Thoric still thinks that, oh, they must have found her. Let's go back to the brass shields.
As soon as I see that, do we see Leonok and Manacles? No.
No, not yet.
Doing the-
Okay, so it's just
like,
us. Okay, yeah. I'm the same as Thoric then. I'm like, dude,
Okay. So,
interesting. It didn't take long.
as you round the corner to the brass shields, you see 7 brass shields standing outside the front with an addition, like in a huddle, with an additional couple dozen, like functionaries, like basically people being asked to come into work in the middle of the night, like people like going through the main office doors. Rather than this is like a full days of work, and people coming in early prematurely. And as these kind of 7 brass shields part from them and watching you guys approach with your accompaniment of like 17, 18, you see Leonok manacled in custody. His gauntlets have been taken off, and Leonok, are you saying anything? Or have you tried to talk to them at all?
No, he's actually well, if they approach, then yeah, but he's actually standing there smiling. He's happy he got his entire aim. All he got away.
Yeah.
Hey, DM, I have
Okay.
a question.
Yes.
In my bonds, I specifically
Mhm.
put disliked by the brass shields.
Yeah.
I've been around a while, law enforcement. Have I ever seen? Have I ever seen this before in my 100, 200 years of working within the system?
Can you be more specific? What do you mean? Have you seen this before?
Have I been arrested by the brass shields or bullied by the brass shields, or like, is this something that's happened before? Where
You have never been
come
like
get me.
arrested by your own order. No, you've never been arrested. But you're under the impression you're heading back basically to deal with fucking paperwork and shit like that. Not this. So when you turn the corner, you see 45 feet away, Leonok manacled.
I think 19 intelligence. I think I know what arrest looked like when everyone stopped
Oh,
looking
yeah.
for a kid. This entire walk
Yeah.
back, I'm like, okay, we're under arrest or something. This is not good. Okay, I didn't know if this was like I've been through this before or if this is super unusual.
No, this is new for you. This is new for you.
Ooh,
You've had some like
very
office spats and maybe some like superiors refusing to like promote you, but nothing like this before.
But you said that they had like they're bringing like personnel in at night. Not
Yeah,
law
this is
enforcement,
looks
but
like
support-
this. It's no longer night staff just ticking over. This is like the office is woken up. Something's went down to cause everyone to come back to work.
What have I ever witnessed? Like what scale of oh shit is this? Where they bring in the staff in the middle of the night?
Something bigger than, well, you're not sure if you're the cause of this, but something dramatic and big has came down to call like 30 or 40 people from their beds and rouse them in the middle of the night to come into work.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
So that has happened before. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
fireball.
you've seen this happen before.
Well, at least 2. One won't do
Yeah.
it.
Torkel, do you see any? What's your reaction when you see Leonok and change the angelic?
As soon as I see Leonok in manacles or handcuffs, restrained in any way, that doesn't seem like, oh, we're just leading you to the thing for a conversation. He realizes that something's going on, and let me just see. He has a vague idea that this is like the forces they're dealing with are maybe a bit bigger than us. So he's very cautious about what exactly is happening here.
Yeah. Okay.
He has that idea that his safety and his party's safety is now in danger.
Yeah.
Like there's a compromise.
Will the 3 of you give me a perception check, please?
Yep.
Fucking hell.
You see
I
the
think I rolled
7
like a 2 and
functionaries.
a 1.
You see the 7 functionaries, or the brass shields around Leonok. They're not speaking to him. The 15 around you, kind of like even more, like they kind of group in even more. And you guys are still armed at this point. You do not see Orly with Leonok. Orly is nowhere to be seen.
Ever again.
And so at this point, from the archways, from the main door coming from the steps, you see a familiar face approaching Hendrik. You see a very angry-looking, cropped, braided grey hair with the big robes, the dull grey cape, the colour of tear. You see Overseer Justicia Mentha Vasquez, this angry scowl as she steps out.
Hey, how do I spell
Looking,
that? Overseer
I
Menthanol.
will,
Fucking.
yeah. So you've met this woman once before. This is a woman you went like to talk to a wee while ago about you explained to her. This is the person you did your paperwork to. You explained to her about what happens on the Citadel. So you have a rapport with her. You've spoken to this woman before. She's got a bronze tinged chest plate with iconic vistas of Rakmir, like shrubs and like these kind of ornate filigree, like roses and strawberries and all that stuff as well. She looks imposing in her full brass shield plate armor, which is very well kept on top of. And she stands and looks at you, and then looks at the sergeant that's beside Leonok. Is this all of them? He replies back. One of them slipped away. We still got people looking for him. She just nods, takes a few steps down into the thoroughfare. Now you notice that some people like in this square, there's still some houses around here, but some people are like peeking out the balconies and seeing what's going on. She walks up to the group of you, walks past you, doesn't even look at you, just walks towards Hendrik and co. Disarm, please.
Sure thing.
Yeah.
I will drop my dagger and my spear and my other dagger, and
I
just
remove her arms.
I didn't realize we were partnering with a Wookiee.
You can certainly try.
I put down my warhammers, light crossbow.
All right. So yeah. So you disarm. Torkel, what do? You disarm as well?
Yeah, I give her my mace, but I'm putting my shield in my back.
Yeah. So you try to put your shield in the back. A brass shield comes over and goes. That as well,
He
please.
sighs heavily and just shoves the shield into them.
Yeah. No, they're not picking your weapons up like they're like trying to get back for you as quick as they can. They like come over, they pick them up. They don't just like kick them away from you guys. So it's not like it's like you treated with like, oh my god, you're going to kill everybody in front of us. And
So what's this about, Mentha?
she looks
Hendrik
at you.
uses her first name and not title at all intentionally.
Yeah, she looks at you and really stares intently at you. Why don't you elucidate all of us about what this is about, or at least what you think this is about? And you see, as she says this, a priest behind her speaks a divine word, presents a scroll, and this kind of like force field, like a shimmering blue energy, appears in the in the small energy around her and you, around 30 feet. You recognize this as basically like a silence or a non-noise zone where no
it's
noise.
A cone of silence.
It's a cone of silence, but in verse. So anything that's said in this cone cannot go further than this cone. And it's between you, the 10 brass shields immediately around you, and you, Torkel, her, and Thorek, and then 10 brass shields.
Okay.
Oh no, cone of silence is a reference. Never mind.
Yeah. Well, when you asked us to come here, I thought you found the one we were looking for.
Yes, we're still looking into this missing woman with the gentleman's slate.
Insight check.
Make an insight check.
I want to check this good live bastard.
Yeah, I'll do that too. I don't like what's going on.
I'm too naive to insight check.
Oh fuck! Nice job, Dorkel.
I have a really high wisdom.
You do? You have a really high wisdom?
Yeah.
Torkel, I'll start with you. This is a woman who is a career professional, and her body language and her actions, you can really tell she's been caught off guard. Something has unnerved her and upset her. She's got like fire in her heart. You tell from what her words that she says, you probably get the sense that yes, that is still happening. Whatever's happening, something's happening this late. Something's going on. Do you want to ask me a question about her demeanor?
When she says, when she is telling us that she is still looking for the woman, do I get the sense that the reason she's looking for the woman is different than the reason that we're looking for the woman?
That's a good question.
It's a good question. I would say in this circumstance, what you can read from her is she wants to find this woman as much as you do right now. And that's as much as you get as well, Ryan. You get that kind of sense.
She wants to find her as much as we do, but does she want to find her because she doesn't like Slate and something's going on and she's been found out, or she's just a nice person? I'm going to go with A. Because B requires not handcuffing people.
Yeah. She says, this has been a very eventful night. In the early hours of the morning, when we're supposed to be in our beds resting, getting ready for a holy day of honoring the urns, I was roused from my bed about a very worrying predicament. My captain, Captain Raimundo, was found dead in his home. We wouldn't have known this until you got a lot of brass shields searching over Old Town, the opposite side of town from where he lived.
Oh,
Do
that's a
you know
coincidence.
anything about this?
It is a long story of many possibilities. Do we know? No, we don't know. We have possibilities, though. It's going to take a while. But you bothered putting up this tone of silence, so I guess that means we're going to have the conversation on here.
I don't trust you in my precinct anymore.
Yeah, no, that's you shouldn't. Trust is weakness. I'm gonna look over my shoulders.
Like, what the fuck?
The rest of my party is like right behind me, aren't they? And like,
Just Oracle and
they can all hear this.
I'm not
They can all
included
hear
in
this.
this.
Yeah.
I'm not. I don't think.
No,
I think I'm
to
outside
you,
of it,
they're
aren't
not.
I?
Their mouths are moving, and you can't hear anything.
They already know everything, so I guess I wouldn't get dinged. I mean, revealing information to another follower of Tyr wouldn't break the tenets, would it? Or else they'd be the most dysfunctional.
If they're a follower of Tyr?
Yeah. Because if not, that's a fucked up organization where nobody
you're
tells
totally
them
right.
anything.
I mean, we call that the Dark Angels.
Yeah, basically.
Everything must be a secret from everyone.
It's so unfortunate because I'm compelled to talk.
No, you aren't. There's no spell. Quiet.
Compelled to talk about his teachings.
Yeah, I'm talking about.
Oh, about your
the
deity? Yeah, I
teachings,
know. It's a pain in the
yeah.
ass.
Yeah.
DM is. I just want to be sure because I just lost a piety point for blabbing. Blabbing to other members of Tyr is not blabbing, right?
No.
Okay,
Within
Maybe it's like you can
context.
blab up, but you can't blab down.
You can blab up, not blab down. I like that a lot.
She's a follower of Tyr, or is she just a brass shield?
Yeah,
she's a brass shield. She definitely believing in Tyr. I mean, she's got Tyr's sigil on her chest plate. She's got that sigil on her chest plate.
She's an associate of Tyr, not a member.
Tyr's like the Masons, right? You have to be in it to actually be a police officer. That's how it works.
Would our
fuck, man? I don't like playing a non-truthful character. Oh yeah, go ahead.
No, just saying, like in this is this a moment of indecision that Hendrik does so that Thork can do something or say
Yeah.
something, or is this
Yes, it is. Yes, it is a moment of holding back. Yeah, go ahead, Thork.
okay? Thor, speak up. In my pack, I have written a diary of what we have done. If you would like to, like, he will take the book like off of him and hold it out.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
She looks
now,
to a brass shield, who then she nods at him, and he walks over and takes it from your hands.
now
He goes to walk over to her.
I would just be very careful about who you trust this information to. I'm trusting this to you to show that we are not a threat. Okay?
Make a persuasion check, Thoric.
Persuasion.
18. There's a slight easing of this interaction to the air, to the nature of what's happening before you. You see a little bit of her body language start to relax. And as they walk over and presents it, she opens up the first page. This starts on the day of Baldry, the holiday.
Yeah,
What exactly have you written in this?
it
You
might be
said
worth
explain things. What is in it?
It might be worth going from the back to the front because that's the most important over the past number of hours.
Okay. Yeah, goes back to front. Now, you haven't had time to probably jot everything that happened down with the barn down because you went straight from the barn. Or Hendrik came straight from the barn.
I asked if I could, and you said yeah.
Oh, did you? Oh, sorry. Yes, then absolutely. Yeah. So opens it up. Probably the last thing that probably wouldn't have been noted in is maybe getting back to the Bed of Roses tap house and then finding out that Slate's wife is missing. But
Yeah.
everything else up to that point.
Yeah.
Now, you did write about the Valen monk. That's correct. Yes.
Yes, I wrote everything truthfully as it happened in my diary.
As you know it.
Oh, son of a bitch!
You open it up, and she opens it
This-
up, and she starts to read, and her eyes just scan and scan and scan. Turns another page. A minute goes by. 2 minutes, then 5. She's about 4 pages in, just reading back. Closes the book, hands it to the high priest, to the left of her. Very convincing notes, very thorough notes. Almost like you expected to be arrested and have to have an alibi.
That is preposterous.
If
You want to elaborate?
My companion is a follower of Bahamut.
yes,
Yes. Yeah.
My companion is a follower of Bahamut. If you go further back in that, you will see an accurate record of us attending and coming to a funeral. He logs everything. It is part of his tenets. It is no way any indication of guilt, and it is preposterous for someone in your position to suggest so.
She nods. She turns to the priest to the left of her. Find this Valen monk and search the records, see if there's any leads in there. And
Can I have my
he bows,
diary
leaves
back?
the Stone of Silence. You want to say something?
He's like, "Can I have my diary back?"
No, this is now evidence. She looks at what I said earlier. You know nothing of Captain Raimundo's death. It is not in this book. But you do write about some assailants trying to kill you, looks towards Hendrik, on the edge of town.
Yes.
This will take a lot of time to clear up. We will have to make a lot of assurances and check locations to verify this information.
This captain that was killed, did you what was his name again?
Raimundo,
Raimundo. Did you know him well?
you see just an acknowledgement of yes, she known him well. Now, if you cast your mind back, my players, you met Captain Raimundo. He was the Brashfield captain who came and thanked you guys for apprehending that wild beast tamer when the animals went loose.
In the beginning, yes.
Oh, that's a shame. He seemed like a nice guy.
I totally forgot about the animals.
So you guys, when that name's said again, it clicks. Oh, I remember this guy. Now, Leonok, you don't know this yet, but
Know what? I don't have a clue.
yeah, you haven't heard
Leonok
of
is there, like trying to keep the smile on his face, while at the same time, like as it goes on, you can probably see he's getting not like tense, like he's trying to do anything, but more like, come on, this is getting annoying now. Like in that
You would have
sense, if that makes
seen
sense.
you would have seen Thoric sort of hold his diary over.
Yeah, you would have saw that. So she looks towards a brass shield that's to the left of Hendrik and Thoric and goes, "Manacle them, bring them inside. They can have a shared cell. I want this information verified by all of you. Spread it along your peers." And
Mentha, are you going to be getting someone who can cast the zone of truth and just settle this matter outright? That way you'd
looks
know
at
for
you.
sure that we are telling the truth.
You and I both know that is a flawed perversion of the powers Tears gives us. To use it so flagrantly without express permission from a high Judicar. I took you for more of a holier man than that, to rely on such sweet tricks.
That's a relatively new outlook on that. 150 years ago, it was standard procedure.
In times of war, yes.
If
And go ahead, Torkel.
if a guard captain has been murdered, is this not possibly one of the third or second highest possible crimes? Should you not be petitioning your church to allow you to question us under the zone of truth? He's found dead in his bed in the middle of the night. What ranks more?
She looks at you, stares you up and down. You took a class about Tears philosophy in the academies, didn't you?
Logic is not part of Tears philosophy. It just makes sense to me.
So while this happens, a couple of brass shields come over and manacle the three of you.
Oh,
Yep, sounds fine.
Yeah, I'll just
I don't
ask
like
that.
it.
I'll just ask that. Say that. Okay, you can hold us. You can double check what's in the book, but don't stop investigating because it's not us. Keep
A
searching
woman
for
and child are
others.
missing.
And not just that.
Yes,
keep looking for
this
the
man's
murderer.
wife and child are gone. That is, I believe his words, and he truly has no idea. But what alarms me is, even in the pages of this diary, you fail to involve us, the laws of these lands, the agents of truth and law and justice, and you took it upon yourself. The arrogance of it. Looks towards Hendrik. You may be older than many, many people, maybe even half this region of peoples in age. But your logic, your wisdom, to be so selfish, you're acting like a toddler. And she turns and just walks back inside. And then the three of you are kind of shoved by their shoulders to head in as well.
Alrighty.
Torko says to Hendrik, is it normal procedure for you to apprehend people with no corroborative evidence? I don't like the cut of this woman's jib. She is uneasy.
Wait, sorry. Am I being taken as well, or is it just those two?
Once she turns, the zone drops. The silent zone drops. You're obviously the three of your allies are pushed in, and you're pushed in behind them. They're not.
Okay, sorry. I thought you said the three of them, so I was like going, "Oh my god, am I
Yeah.
being kept separate?" That's a rude.
Torkel, as to your question, it depends on the guard captain.
Besides, we might something about so the weak foundation compromises the entire building. This is troublesome.
And as you notice this building, you go through the half oval archway. And as I've described this many times to Hendrik, this is a strange collaboration, almost maze-like structure once you get past the central kind of like meeting foyer. And before you guys are taken on any halls or archways or downstairs, upstairs, sacks of leather are placed over your heads and you can't see where you're going.
Son of a
Interesting.
bitch!
Oh, okay. So this went from we're being arrested to oh fuck.
Do these sacks smell like they've had blood in them before?
No, they smell like freshly cleaned and scented with juniper. So
That's quite nice, actually. Smells better than Hendrik.
Okay, we can have a nice smell as we're being decapitated.
Juniper
Yeah.
was the last person the bag was on.
So what happens now
Email.
is the four of you are led up and down the stairs. They do say, "Oh, watch your step. Oh, come down the stairs. Watch this." Like they're not just like shoving you and pushing you. Like they walk you with respect
Oh,
down,
that's nice.
and you hear a key go into the lock. A gunk, 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 as like multiple bars from whatever system opens up. You're all gestured inside. A brass shield captain removes your hoods one by one, and then gets you to turn around, and he undoes your manacles. You see an 8-foot by 4-foot chamber. There is a lavatory in the corner. There is no windows in this chamber at all. There is 2 cots and 2 benches in it, and a small dim candle holder at the top, which a brass shield guard walks up and lights as they have torchlight in here.
I'm
And
sorry. Did
as
you
they start
say
to slowly
8 foot
Yep.
by? Sorry, did you say 8 foot by 4 foot?
Yeah, in width and length.
That's absolutely tiny for 4 people.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
It's supposed to be for 2, but we're
Yep.
shoving 4 in here.
That's tiny for 2.
Yeah.
That's like that's as long as Dark is tall.
Oh, sorry. I see what you're saying. Sorry, I was thinking of meters, not feet.
Okay, that makes much more sense. I'm just sitting there
Yeah.
thinking, dude, that's like it was sardines.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
No,
it
sorry,
would be,
carry on. Yeah,
No.
just
it would be 20 foot by about 10 foot.
okay, much
That's
more
what I'm
reasonable.
thinking. Yeah, sorry about
So,
that. I was like, why are they being upset? Like it's a big enough room. Anyway, so you guys the
For
the
reference,
flash shields.
For reference, what he said was less than half of the minimum jail size for one person inmate cells.
My bad. Yeah, Tyr's not like that. He's more of a he's not that cruel. So
don't lie
the
to us.
brass
I
shield,
still remember that boat.
the brass shield, the sergeant who first instructed, he heard the conversation with the diary, he heard a lot of that. And he turns to the group of you, looks at you, Learnock. I hope this is cleared up for the gods' sakes. And then just shuts the door. Key turns. It rises up from where the key holds. Up 1, up 2, up 3. These bars interlock. And the 4 of you are left in the chamber with a thin candlelight. What do you do?
Okay, show of hands. Who here has been in prison before?
Are we still
Hendrik-
manacled?
Hendrik raised his hand.
Yeah, you're unmanacled now.
Okay.
So all your belongings, all your inventory has been taken off you. All your weapons, your holy symbol still remains. What's your name? Torkel, and your most, I will say, functionary. Your plate armors, guys. You function as half plate layer knock, and you function as one armor lower, Thoric and Torkel, just because like they remove some like pieces of armor. And then for you, Hendrik, not much has been removed to you except like basically basic inventory, like all your inventory is gone. Do you have an arcane focus? What's your arcane focus?
My medallion of tear.
Then they wouldn't have taken that off you.
Cool.
So, it's cold in here, but nowhere near as cold as what Flate's house was like.
I feel comfortable.
So who
Is
here
this-
has been
Is this a
who
normal
here has
cold
been in prison
or-
before?
It's normal cold. Yeah, so go ahead.
As like a prisoner or just visiting?
As a prisoner.
No.
Lyranok, you've been around while you've been in prison.
I cannot say I have. No.
Torkel?
I have never been imprisoned.
Well, it's a new life experience for everyone.
Do you want me just to try and like open the door or something, or?
No, there's no that'd look terrible for us.
Okay. I don't know. I don't know the
only break
etiquette of
out-
being a prisoner. I don't
You
know if
only
it was
break out if
mandatory.
you're guilty. No, it's not a challenge.
I start doing push-ups.
I start
Okay.
studying the internals of the prison cell to see if I can see what this is constructed with and when, and gather information on it.
Sure.
Because not in an attempt to break out, but just because that's what you do.
Hendrik
Yeah.
takes a long rest because he's hurt and he doesn't have many spells.
All right. Okay. So do you have a proficiency or a tool you want to use for that, Torkel?
I have
You don't-
Mason's tools.
How many tools they took it all? They took
Oh
all
yeah,
the
took my
you don't
yeah.
have
So
tools,
just my
Eh.
assessment then.
Yeah, just give me an investigation check.
No.
Advantage because you're a dwarf and you're Kenos.
21.
21. This is a very sturdy underground chamber. You get the sense that this was actually built pretty by standard template by the Ministry of Masterworks. You studied prison design and cell design in your times at university. There's many other things that you had done, and it pretty much follows a template of a holding cell. So pretty flawless execution
Standard.
of something designed from a book.
Was there any update to this standard template that I'm aware of?
This is probably like a maybe 40-year-old design.
Okay. But it's still in common use. It's not like, oh, by the way, it's not like, you know,
still
when they
common
design a
use.
car and then they're like, oh, you know,
Yeah,
there's
this
something
isn't
wrong
like,
with it. We should
oh
probably
no,
call it
we're in
that.
a cell from 300 years ago. We're in so much trouble. Actually, like maybe we're like tucked away somewhere really hidden and no one knows where we are. It's not that situation at all.
Yeah, it's just a standard step.
It's a
And it
standard step.
operates perfectly fine. Okay, yeah.
Uh-huh.
When Taco comes to the realization that they're probably just going to have to wait this out, he sits down.
Mhm.
I start bench pressing Torkel.
Significantly lighter because he's got no fucking belongings.
Yeah. We cut away for a second. We like fade away from the jail cell, and we see a rooftop overlooking the exterior entranceway of the Justiciars, the Brass Shields Patrol House. And as we see the Justiciar walk inside to get a repeat, like a rewind of what just happened, and the four of you are led in on this fourth story building, crouched underneath a balcony. We just see Orly staring and watching, just wide-eyed, and he just mutters under his breath, "Fuck me." And that's where we're going to end the session there, guys.
Very nice.
Right.
Very, very nice.
D&D Prison Break Edition.
Yeah, so like only Stotey is playing next session, right? We've set him up so he's gonna have his own one shot.
I think me and Stotey need to actually have a one shot and see what happens.
Do we not get to roll to see if we catch the ball when we bounce it off the wall? I've seen prison games. I know how this works.
You search the room. There's no balls in it. There's some
Not at all.
We've been neutered.
Just flinging Lyranok sack first at the wall.
This was
Good
not how
luck.
I expected this to go at all.
Yeah, not how we expected it to go either. Oh, actually,
No.
there's a crazy guard captain that's going to imprison you.
I'm sorry. Did you expect us to fight 20 guards?
I didn't expect you to get in trouble with the guards at all.
Neither did we.
I don't even know how we managed to do it.
I didn't realize it was our fault. Now
I have
that
no
we
idea.
informed it is
Yeah,
our
it's-
fault he died, I mean, maybe we are guilty, guys. Oh no.
Do
Who the
you,
fuck is Raymond?
He's the guard captain that congratulated us at session 1, 0. I don't know what it
yeah,
counts as.
session 1.
You think I
What a
remember
that
that?
he died on the
Hmm.
night that the cult is killing all of its moles.
Yes.
Oh.
yeah.
But basically, what they're accusing us is we sort of went over to the other side of the city and we're like, guards, come here, and made a distraction.
Oh, yeah.
Someone can easily.
I get that.
That's what.
So that someone could kill him, yeah. But
Yeah,
like
that's
they
what
have no
they think.
corroborative evidence for that. They're just like, oh, there were
Absolutely
people on
not.
the other side of the city calling on guards. You know, it could have been anybody. Someone could have had like a burglary and they'd been like, well, you know, your fault for getting burgled. You're clearly in this.
So the more insane part is we didn't even call them; they called themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did we get that guard's name?
Obviously, this is still completely reasonable. Oh, I say a reasonable response. I can understand the response from their part.
If
It is not the correct response. I'm going to point this out here, but it is an understandable one.
How many times get the correct response the first time around with any situation?
I don't know.
Just to be clear.
I can count that on my fingers and still have 10 left over.
I don't think any law enforcement agency is going to be like, that officer did one suspicious thing, time to arrest him. They'd be like,
I
we're
don't
going to
think
have
that
to
any
sit
law
down.
enforcement agency is going to be like, that officer committed a crime, let's arrest him. So I don't think we have to worry about whether or not
I
it's
think it's
suspicious
like
or not.
3. You get to wear 3, and then they start be like, okay, we need to start having a meeting about this.
Wait,
No,
hang on, okay.
to-
Is there a level of severity involved here? Because I'm
No. So use your 3 wisely.
okay, good. Go big or go home. Understood.
They use
To
the
be-
first
to be
to
fair-
shoot an innocent person, the second to shoot an innocent person.
To be fair, you guys actually aren't like technically have been charged with anything with a crime yet because you need to go before like a clerical priest of Tyr, a Judas, who or Jurat, sorry, not Judas, a Jurat who would actually charge you with a crime, like what happened to Slade when he got sent to Eland. So you're held at the minute, but you're not guilty of any crime. So
And we don't get bail.
Not yet.
I'm
I
guys-
think we're a flight risk.
They
We're
can hold us
adventurers.
They can hold us for 24 hours before they have to allege a
Yeah.
crime.
I mean,
assuming-
I don't know if we have those rights, man. We're in
I
fantasy.
mean,
land.
yeah, I was going to say, assuming that follows some parts in real life, who
Right.
knows?
we'll have to see.
They didn't
if the
even read us our Miranda rights, dude.
Yeah, I know. What are these terrible people? They didn't have probable cause. They could have detained us, and that book is private property.
I'm pretty
not how that
sure
works.
if like I don't know, someone started like a mass missing persons, let's get all the cops out to find like a missing child and wife, the same night that say like the director of the I don't know, like a regional sheriff was killed, there'd be some suspicion over that. Of like why you got all half the city's cops out looking for this. The
Well,
same
to be
night.
fair, we just asked for help and then they decided the numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true.
But obviously,
I don't know.
from their point of view, they don't know that yet. That's a lot, but
No, they'll have time to go over all the evidence in the same amount of time you'll have
They
time to
do.
just sit in a
Why
cell
did-
and think.
my dude, why did they draw weapons though?
Because you ran. No, they drew weapons before.
No, they drew weapons before I
That's a
ran.
good weapons,
That was
yeah.
why I was running. They drew
wasn't-
weapons.
The one guy drew one mace to be ready because you're a heavily armored knight, and he thought, I best be on the front foot of this.
They probably
Yeah,
also
but-
thought that you killed a guard captain. Like that's what he was saying, right?
How? I have the perfect alibi. I was in line of sight of most of them probably. But no, that's it's again. I can understand from their point of view why he's throwing a weapon, but that's why I ran.
I just have an important question. I imagine through the ferocity of note taking that your gentleman has, our Bahamut follower has, he probably put timestamps or rough timestamps when he actually writes something, right?
Yeah, like let's say
Okay,
we're
that-
let's say
yeah,
we're
that's
out and
okay.
about and there isn't any kind of is there any kind of timekeeping in towns that say, oh, this is
Yeah, there's
this
dawn
time.
bells, dusk bells.
Yeah, so
stuff like that.
when we're adventuring away from town, it's more generic, but in town it would be.
But when you're in town, there's bells that ring through the day, and you would get a pretty accurate assessment of what time it is.
Yeah. Actually, speaking
Yeah,
of,
that's it.
just piety. Did anyone gain? I mean, no Ryan lost.
Oh
did
yeah,
anyone
it's good
gain?
to know. Yeah.
Unless you want to count me treating that boy and man like a decent human being as treating strangers with respect and offering the same treatment as family, nay.
I believe I taught someone about Tyr and the role he has to play. When the guard asked me, "What are you doing out here?" and I gave the spiel about, well, I'm an officer of Tyr, and Tyr's in charge of we're hunting down a spellcaster, and that's the job of Tyr. No, I'm not being sincere.
Okay. I'm gonna throw a half possibility, revealing a critical truth at an important moment.
Oh yeah, you absolutely get a point of pity for that. Absolutely.
Guys, also, I don't want to make this in the chat. It was last session, guys. We couldn't keep that very important secret.
I didn't
for
say
a
shit.
single session.
Don't say you guys. It's Thorak. Thorak's the one who fucking did it.
Agreed. 100%.
Teachers and bodyguards were not spies.
To be fair, I also didn't agree to keep the secret. Everyone else said yes. I didn't say anything.
It was implicit. You know it. That is not an argument you can make.
Thorak is too stupid to understand implicit.
Thorak's god is the god of blabbing.
Well, God is the god of information available to all, right? So I think it's fair for him to be like, no, I'm not doing that.
Oh yeah,
absolutely. She'll be fine. She'll be fine.
How was that session? Was that
but,
was that what you expect? Well, I wasn't what I expected to happen at all. I kind of expect you guys to be like, all right, let's go X, let's go Y, and then you stayed in town and things happened, and they just coalesced and got bigger, and I was like, whoa, this is actually more interesting than what I thought was going to happen. This is way better.
Yeah, it's the Pandora's box was the thing. Is that what it is? Where it's like one thing leads to another, which leads to a bigger disaster, which leads to a bigger problem.
Butterfly effect.
Rube Goldberg, yeah.
No, I mean,
tell me about
Rube Goldberg.
No, Rube Goldberg is one thing causes another. There's another one for
what
like
you just described.
No.
It's like any disaster relies on multiple things all happening at once, going bad or going wrong.
Murphy's Law.
Sure. Isn't that what can go wrong will go wrong?
Yep.
I don't know if there's actually a law for what you're stating, man.
It's that there's a butterfly effect where small things can lead to great disasters later down the line, but that's
again different.
That's not the exact
Have you guys considered that I am the law?
All right, Judge Dredd, calm down. Oh, hang on. Which Judge Dredd are you though? Are you the ultra campy one or the actually good one?
I'm a Sylvester Stallone. I'm a Cal Urban. Good question.
Okay, that's fair.
I am probably neither of those. If you put the wee guy from Spaceballs in the Judge Dredd, that'd be me.
I see. Dude,
I enjoyed that session.
Stotey's gonna come back like, dude, guys, I missed like 2 sessions. How the fuck are you in jail?
Not only are we in jail, but we also know that he has a fake name stone and potentially is lying to us, but we've not put two and two together yet.
Yeah, I think this is a very important must-watch for Stotey to figure out what the fuck he should do next.
Yeah, I'm just gonna. Yeah, let's just press the button.